Welcome to this is the podcast without the podcast room. I'm Jess. I'll be your host. How can I say on to bigger things when I was already the bigot? These are my shoutouts of the day. I actually recorded this video already, but the mic didn't pick up anything. Yay! That was so much fun. I'm giving my shout out to Greg Cook. And then I was like, how can I leave out Mally? This was my original shout out, but then I didn't want to leave out my baby boy. I'm giving the shout out of the day to the Dumb Lit guys because I want to break the NDA. Please, can I break the NDA? Please, like, you're my friend. Please. The title of this video is Stop Asking Me How to Get Over Shit I've Never Gotten Over Anything in My Life. I'm probably going to shorten it though because I don't think that would fit in a screenshot. Whenever I look at my DMs, whenever I do a Q&A, whenever, you guys are always like, how do I get over my ex? How do I get over this? How do I get over that? I've never gotten over anything in my life. Nothing. This year especially is when I realized, is it possible to be manic for years at a time? Because I feel like a lot of people are looking up to the version of me that was like right after I left my BD and like I was crazy for 2 years. That girl thought she was over it. But this girl right here, it's not over anything. And I realized it the most this year, especially during Ramadan. Let me know if you guys want a video of me talking about Ramadan. That was definitely like super life-changing experience. I know I'm not even Muslim and it was your first time. It was only a month. I don't care. Something life-changing can happen to me today. I could change my opinion whenever I want. This is another thing how I know I'm not over anything, because why do I feel like I need to explain anything to anybody? Even when I was recording this the first time, I just caught myself trying to explain myself, and it's like, girl, this year during arguments and stuff, I would feel like the old me coming out, and I realized that the old me isn't the problem. That's just me. You know what I mean? I've been traumatized a lot of times. A lot of the times was publicly on the internet. My first ex cheated on me with men. That was my first love. That was my first everything. Then my second real boyfriend was my baby father. And I can't really get into that because he calls police. The whole reason we even went to court was because he took me. So I'm not going to speak on him because I don't ever want to go to court again. I do want to talk about him though. I want to talk about him so bad, but he is crazy. I'm even scared to say that. Just know I'm not trying to hide it from you guys. I just literally don't want to go back to court. I remember my prime of TikTok too. He was just bringing up my TikToks in court and saying I was a bad mom because I was a hoe. But it was like, I never brought my daughter to be a hoe with me. I don't know why that was an argument. And I wasn't even a hoe. Let's save that for another time. I even want to do a video talking about, like, not that I regret my whole face, but like, ew. I just regret there being like I fucked with some lames, boy, during that time. Anyways, first of all, if we want to go all the way back, I like to think about all my issues rooting back to my dad. And but there's like a certain point in your life where you're like, I can't blame his ass for everything, you know what I mean? Because there are a lot of things that could have broke me down besides my dad that I didn't let get me down. So it's not really his fault. A poor judgment of character, poor character traits. I don't know. I'm still going through it. I really realized it this year because everything has just been triggering me this year. Like, and I realized that every single time that I cry, I'm crying for everything that ever happened in my life. I cry a lot. I cry very easily. I like that about myself, though. I like that I don't try to hold it in. I tried to hold it in for like a couple years. Every time I would try to hold it in, it didn't do me any good. You should always feel what you're feeling right in that moment. I think that's a superpower. My mom told me that we spend our whole adulthood trying to go back to being a child, because when babies feel any pain, they just cry. You know, they just let that shit go. It's like being an adult is just trying to be a kid again, for real. I had a friend, her name is Val, and she was like my first friend after like I broke up with my BD. And a lot of the time with my BD, we would argue, as any couple does. If you're fucking watching this, I'm not saying anything bad. Just please let me get through this sentiment, please. I'm non-confrontational. I'm extremely non-confrontational. I don't like to argue. I will do anything to avoid an argument, unfortunately. I'm trying to change that. My new man, he always asks me what's wrong and just say how I feel. I love him. Anyways, my BD, like, we would argue and stuff, and I wouldn't really like let myself argue with him because he's just a lot. Like, you know, when somebody just they keep going and going, so I'd just be like, okay, okay, okay. So I bit my tongue a lot during my relationship with my BD. Val was my best friend during that time when I first left my BD. And she was like the friend I was going out with a lot, and I would talk to her in the car all the time. And she was like, I used to tell her, like, you're my friend that gave me my voice back. So I always appreciate her for that. I'm still learning so much about myself. Every time I make these videos, every time I make a video of me just talking, I'm learning about myself. That's why I love doing this shit. It makes me a better communicator. I could do this all day. I could talk to a camera all day, but then when it comes to talking to somebody face to face, like, I just get scared. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I'm trying to figure myself out through these video diaries. I have a couple of like fake podcast names, but I think I'm just gonna call these video diaries for now until something great happens to me. And I think something great is gonna happen to me, because you want to know something? Things I haven't gotten over, how I say, like, I've never gotten over anything in my entire life. Like, I'm never going to get over certain things. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because those things, I'm building on top of those things. And I really do believe that everything happens for a reason. I know you don't want to hear that shit. I don't even want to say that shit, honestly. I'm trying to think of a better way to put it. I'm not the type of person that gets angry for real. I actually discovered anger after I had my daughter. I never had anxiety in my whole life until I had a child and I started going to court and shit. That really, really gave me so much anxiety that I still have. I was never conscious of my social media posts. No one's ever held posts against me until until that shit. It definitely fucked me up. A lot of things have fucked me up so bad. Time doesn't stop for anybody, and honestly, things are gonna get worse. And I wish I can be an angry person. Sorry, I'm like zoning out. I wish I could be an angry person so bad. I envy people that get angry and they can scream and they can fight people. Like, I wish I had that for me. And I remember telling that to somebody, and she told me being the way that I am is better. But I wish I had it in me to react how other people do. Like, if there was ever a time machine, I would only want a time machine to be invented so I can go back in time and fight people from high school. I wish I would have slapped the shit out of those people that were racist to me. Like, I will never not regret that. Like, I remember experiencing racism and being like, what? Like, go back to your country is mad crazy. Bitch, I was born here. What the hell? Go back to your country? I should have slapped the shit out of that bitch. I actually talked about it on the podcast before. Her name was Nora. If you have no haters left, then I am dead. No cap. I think about that constantly. I hope you never get married. So that's just proof that there are some things that you just are not going to get over, and that's okay. I'm always going to be traumatized by my past relationships. Always, 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 always. And I am going to talk about everybody I ever fell out with in a video. I'm not going to talk about my BD in that video. If I ever get the chance to talk about my BD for real, that's going to be its own entire video. If I ever get the chance. But I'm probably not. Hopefully I grow. There's just certain things in life that you're not going to get over. Things are going to get worse and things are going to get better. I've learned that. Like, you're going to laugh again. You're going to laugh so hard that you cry. You're going to experience joy. Like, there's so much to look forward to all the time. Like, growing old with the people you love. A lot of the shit that traumatized me because I loved people so much, was always from people that I loved. Okay, one time, this guy slapped the shit out of all the stuff that was in my hand, like, really violently when I was, like, 18, and I had no idea who he was. That was, like, one time that somebody I didn't know kind of betrayed me, but that situation actually made me better because now I don't really walk and look at my phone that much anymore because I'm always thinking about that guy. I think he's in jail. His name was Yusuf. I ended up finding out who it was because he had beef with my BD and he knew who I was and I didn't know who he was, unfortunately. And I had a venti Starbucks drink and all my books from school, and I was walking to my BD's apartment from my car. And he slapped my venti drink, and I was saving it for when I got there. And I was like, wow, do you even know how much this fucking drink is? I forgot what he said. He said, like, oh, tell your boyfriend I said, hey. That was traumatic, though. Like, what? I've never been assaulted before. Like before, that was like the first time someone was violent to me for real. Like my mom like slapped me around when I was like, I don't even remember it. She actually told me it. She did beat me up when I was 19 though, but she's such a little woman. Like she's like 100 pounds and she was trying to hit me. It was more like her trying to hit me hurt my feelings more than physically. I did some bullshit. I would have beat my ass too. No cap. I love my mom. My mom could cut off my arm and I'll be like, everything gonna be alright, baby. I'm not over anything that anybody did to me. Even like my old homegirls that went and fucked my exes and stuff like that. Like that shit hurts, boy. But it's okay for shit to hurt you and hurt you for a long time and to not get over it. Like dwelling on it all day, every day though is the real problem. Like if I really sat here and think about everything that I went through, I would not leave my house. But I also feel like I'm overcompensating stuff that I went through by working so much. I'm just so fucking T. Like how much I work is crazy. Like I'm a good mom. I have a 9 to 5 at a job that I'm passionate about. I'm helping immigrants. I'm advocating sexual health and wellness. Arena Revenge is a full-time fucking job. I do something for Arena Revenge every fucking day, whether it's thinking, planning, posting. I'm always doing something for Arena Revenge. And I do social media. Like, I love this shit. Like, all this shit that I went through gave me a platform, honestly, because that first relationship I was in was, like, around the time that I first started going viral. Like, I went viral on my own for, like, being a baddie. Then I got into a relationship, and then we were viral and all that shit. I'm not even over that shit. Like, people ask me every now and then about, oh, like, what happened with you in... Bitch, I'm not over that shit either. Like, that was, like, getting cheated on is traumatic. You're never gonna get over that shit. But you need to feel that shit sometimes, though. Like, I feel like a lot of the shit that I went through was to humble me, like, for real. You gotta go through shit to enjoy shit for real. Like, if I didn't get cheated on, nah, I didn't ever need to get cheated on. No cap. I'm just trying to be graceful and majestic and shit. I don't know. That shit should have never happened to me. I'm sexy. The downs make the highs high. Well, it's part of life to get cheated in a relationship, in a business deal. I used to charge $20 for story promos, bro. I was so naive, but I needed that. You know what I mean? I really take everything that I went through and I just keep going for real. It's another day. Every time you think about it, you're just making yourself relive it. Granted, you gotta feel it. The only way out is through, but you gotta keep going. I have this idea of myself and who I am, and I have to be that. Like I said I was gonna make this YouTube video. I really want to lay down, but I love you guys, and I want to talk to you guys. I want to connect with you guys. One thing I'm never also gonna get over is the death in my life, Brandon and Aya, and my grandfather. How lucky am I to have loved people so much that it still impacts me. It just sucks because they loved me. They just loved me too. But I gotta keep living for them, you know? And life really does go on. Like, I remember when Brandon passed away. That's my homeboy. He was like my best friend in high school. He never tried to fuck me. He was so cool. That was like the first death of my life that I really felt. I remember being like, how is everything still going? Like, I was so devastated. I felt like everybody should have had off from work. That shit should have been on the news. Like, I was like, why is no one else around me breaking? And then that's when I was like, bro, you have to keep going no matter what. Oh my God, I was treated so awful around that time too. I was treated so awful by my BD around that time. More people in my life are gonna die. Of course, I'm never going to get over the people that have died up until this point. But if I really sit around and just think about that shit all day, nothing is going to get done at all. And they wouldn't want me to live my life like that. My grandfather literally named me after him. I love him. I can't even talk about him. Like, he loved me. Like, he thought I could do nothing wrong in this life. And that was my real dad, bro. I remember when he died and I was like, that was the last person that would do anything for me. He was so talented. He was ambidextrous and he knew how to draw. He taught me how to draw. Oh, this is ugly. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay. This is actually a good example because now I'm crying about I Am Brandon too. And then I'm thinking about how I haven't talked to my dad in years. And now I'm thinking about how my dad is my stepdad, right? Okay, let me log in. My dad that I'm always talking about, when I say my dad, I'm always talking about my stepdad. I'm never talking about my biological father. I never met him. He never cared about me. And I remember I found out that my stepdad wasn't my real dad when I was like 9 or 10. That was like a betrayal on its own. I didn't really start feeling it until I was in high school. Like, I remember I was 17. Bitch, why are you even crying about this? Like, no, it's okay. It's really okay. I can cry about whatever I want. And I saw that snippet of Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where he was like, why he ain't want me, man? Bitch. And that's when I felt it for the first time. And that's how I know, like, I'm never going to get over anything in life. I'm never going to get over anything in life because things are constantly triggering me around me. But that's okay. Like, okay, I'm just going to cry and then that's it. I'm going to move on. I'm going to go on TikTok in like an hour and I'm going to laugh at something. Like, it's not over. My life is not over. My life will never be over. And I just keep peaking. Every year, I'm like, I'm the best I've ever been in my fucking life. Every year. So that's just not going to stop this year. I honestly don't think anything can bring me. Like, I would have been broken already. You know what I mean? But that's you too. Like, I'm not one in a million person. Like, we're all each other. I really believe that we are all reflections of each other. There is nobody that is better than anybody except I'm better than all my boyfriend's exes. Sorry. If you're my boyfriend's ex, I'm better than you. That's it though. Anybody else, we are equals. Oh no, I don't even know why I said that. That was kind of mean. I'm not better than those bitches. Maybe a little bit, but not really. In retrospect, no. That was childish. I love being childish though. Can you guys just let me? Ugh, my God, whatever. I can't believe I just cried mad hard, bitch. Are you good? Like, it's life. Like, it's crazy because like me talking about my grandpa. Y'all don't even know him. Like, that's so crazy. When he died too, I was like, nah, this is like 9/11. No cap, my grandpa dying was worse than 9/11. I don't even know. I didn't know anybody that died in 9/11. Like, the hell? I hate when I say shit and then you guys are like, well, my grandfather dying was worse than 9/11. The fuck? I was 1. It's okay to not get over shit. That was really the point of the video. There's so much to look forward to in life. That was true. Growing old with people you love. There's going to be more reasons to celebrate. Everything I went through made me who I am, made me resilient. Even though I dealt with a lot of loss in my life, whether it's like the people that passed away or loss in my relationship, things that feel like a loss that aren't even really a loss because every time I lost something, I got something better. Yeah, whatever, cool. When the whole point of life is to get an experience, you never really lose anything. Everything I've went through, I'm grateful for. In hindsight of it, I'm not grateful while I'm going through it. I hate dealing with grief. For example, the podcast, that was like the time of my life. You guys gave me the time of my freaking life. I love you guys. But I'm never going to get over it that it ended. All things must come to an end. It's true. Everything does come to an end. Even if you have the love of your life, one of you is going to die. But when the goal is to experience, you never lose, which is why I feel like I've taken everything so well in my life. There have been times, obviously, where I've taken shit poorly, like when I crashed out for 2 years. But a crash out is needed. I wish I could crash out harder than I have, honestly. I deserve like a really, really good crash out. I love people so much. I love everybody I meet, and I feel like it's an issue. I want to be friends with everybody. I want to talk to everybody, but everything that I went through made me a closed off person now. And now I cut off people so easily, but people be deserving it. I'm constantly walking this fine line of wanting to love everybody, but wanting to protect myself because people are evil. And I have no vibe reader. I don't have that. When people meet people and they're like, she gives me a bad vibe. I've had that before when people were like overly crazy, like when it's like so obvious. But all the times I was betrayed by homegirls that people warned me about, I always wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. But one thing I've learned is bitches that have no friends for a reason. I'm honestly a very happy person naturally. I'm really grateful for that. I could have been so depressed with everything I went through. I've been um, rejected a lot of times in my life, and I've been dissed when I didn't deserve it a lot of times in my life. I feel like I'm constantly running into people that do something to me and they're like, you didn't deserve it. And it's like, yeah, I know, but you did it anyway, which is why I wish I could slap the shit out of more people, because I feel like when you meet somebody that you know slaps the shit out of people, you don't play with them like that. That's why I envy angry people the most. My BD, he was a super crash out in the peak of us dating. And people were always walking on eggshells around him. I used to be kind of jealous. Because people would ask me to ask him stuff, and it would be like, I know why you're not asking him that, because he would slap the shit out of you. But you thought you could ask me that? I'm passionate about everything in my life, which I used to feel like was a curse. The way that I look at the world, it's still a very beautiful place to me, and I feel like whenever I think about getting into politics, that kind of ruins it. And I don't feel like I deserve to feel the weight of the world on my shoulders when I already have the weight of my life on my shoulders. I do want to be more involved in advocating for certain political issues, but it's really depressing, and I know that's really selfish, and I do what I can. I donate, I repost, I read. R.I.P. Aya. She was like the heaviest Free Palestine person. I'm never gonna get over anything, but I'm okay with that. I don't have it in me anymore to want to get over these things. I just know they're gonna keep showing up the more I avoid them. It's more of, what am I not over that I don't know about, that worries me. Because I went through a lot of traumatic things that didn't resurface until later. Like, I remember this one time my friend was telling me how she went to hang out with this guy, and before they went to hang out, she told him, like, I'm not gonna have sex with you, because they were just like going to smoke in the car, like by the piers or whatever, something like that. And she was like, I'm not gonna have sex with you. And then the entire time they were hanging out, he was convincing her to have sex with him, and she ended up giving in and having sex with him. And I was like, that's coercion. About 2 or 3 years prior to that, I went through that too, by somebody I was dating. I didn't know until I was telling her that she went through it, and I was like, that happened to me too. And that fucked me up for like that whole year. I feel like a lot of the reason that I even got into a hoe phase was because I was trying to get back my sexual power, if that makes sense. Like, if I went out of my way to have sex with somebody just for the sake of having sex, like, I didn't even care about it, because I just wanted the freedom to choose. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I am kind of ashamed, like, I'm kind of embarrassed that it went the way that it did, but it was kind of funny, the stories, because it was just so crazy and everybody loved them. So given where I am today, I am in my apartment. When I was in a room with my daughter, I have a car. I've always had a car, but like, having a car and an apartment is just so tea in New York. I've done everything I said that I wanted to do. I feel like a lot of us are robbed of our joy because we are wanting more and more and more, or thinking of the past, the past, the past. We're always thinking about the past and the future, that we forget that we are living in things we used to pray for. And I'm not going to live like that anymore. I'm doing my best to remain in the present. I don't know how to get over when I'm being triggered though, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm on my way. I think I'm going to close this out now. Thank you for watching. This was definitely a lot. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. You guys are my everything. Stay protected, stay respected, wrap it up, and get tested. Get STD tested this week. It's not embarrassing. It's actually sexy to know your status.